See how much I can film here. Yeah, I know, different. Very different nature corn. We're 19 minutes away. What I would like to do is, I can do shit about it. I cannot do shit. At least the sun is not directly on the balcony, so it doesn't hit directly the phone. But the phone overheats. Whew. Hell yeah. I'll get copyrighted on YouTube. YouTube have a system to not cancel, but block the noise, right? Then I'll put it on TikTok, and I won't get copyright on TikTok. So go figure. Coming back to content creation, and where's coming from the motivation is, it's so easy to have a vision, and I didn't think I had a vision. See, with content, if I'm being completely honest, the first time that I did was food review because I love food. Second was recap because I didn't find myself this interesting. I was like, okay, well, if I'm playing a game, I can kind of be interesting, but if I'm not playing a game, I'm fucking boring. So we started really talking about shows because I was like, okay, well, at least that I know I did Trailer Park Boys and just can't even suspending right away, which took me like a month, but still. And yeah, then after we did the Walking Dead, which we didn't finish, we went to season 3, which is still a 13-hour show, right? Which is crazy. And if you look at Trailer Park Boys, a season is an hour and a half, so it's nothing stellar. Trailer Park Boys will be 20 minutes episode. There's 6 episodes, which is 120, which is 2 hours. We're doing at 1.5 the speed. At 1.5 times the speed, which is 2 hour is 100. So you gotta have 80 minutes. 80 minutes before 200. So 80 times 1.5 is 120. 120 is 2 hours. So it takes us 80 minutes, which is an hour 20 minutes to watch a 2-hour shit. So yeah. That being said, it's easier, right? And I feel like, again, this whole mentality of having to cover this and that and this and that and this and that, and there's this fear here, and this fear is I don't think anybody considered himself. I don't think anybody considered himself a creator or creative, right? They'll say I'm creative, but I'm not the most creative person, right? Or a lot of people, and this is what I love, a lot of people will say I'm creative, but most of all, I have a vision. So it's not necessarily my creativity that carries me, it's my vision, right? So you'll see somebody like Oda, which is the mangaka behind, or the writer behind One Piece, and it'll do a 30 years plus. Yeah, it's more than 30 years. It started in 1991, and we're 2025, so that is 24 years. Sometimes I feel autistic because was that offensive? I don't know. But yeah, so you had his vision. Now Oda sure is creative, but Oda has been making the same thing for 30 years. As long as he has his vision, he doesn't build up creativity. He has this point, this vision, and this vision is an onion, and this onion has layers, and you can take away from layers and like, oh, this layer is special, let's watch it. Or a tree, you cut down a tree and there's ring inside the tree, and the ring tells the age of the tree, right? But it's also, what if I was to take down a tree? That's a good idea. What if I was to cut down a tree and I was to create a video out of every single ring? See, this is creativity. This is vision. But if I wasn't cutting the tree, I would have never had this idea, right? So is this creative, or is this, well, I saw something that inspired me? We're watching Trailer Park Boys. There's this character called Julian, and Julian is the smartest. But when you look at it, Julian just takes idea that he sees and completes them, right? So yeah. What I was talking about? See, now I'm constantly worried that it's gonna be too warm to film, which I don't like. I do not like at all. So yeah, so with the vision, see, because of, okay, there you go. Because of my perceived lack of vision, and again, I'm not saying that I have the most vision. I'm not saying that I'm the most creative, but it's such a specific thing. It's such a special thing. Let's have a patient dream. It's kind of cold as a motherfucker. Did I just swear? Yes. Do I give a shit? No. I love all mothers. Call me a mama's boy, call me a motherfucker. Um, see, this creativity, my fear of not being able to do it. For example, we have this Elden Ring, which is my favorite game ever. In Elden Ring, we have I think I don't remember if it's 17 or 19 playthrough planned, but it's 200 hours per playthrough, or at least 800 hours. This is 1,900 hours of content that I already figured out, right? And I haven't played the game in 1 year. This is crazy. But yeah, so with the whole thing being said, and the whole thing, in our perceived perception of non-creativity, I never know if I'm gonna have enough content. So then I started being interested in different things. So for example, I went to, okay, this is a bad story, and if you're watching this, Louis, I love you, dude. I'm sorry. I went to a family outing 2 weeks ago, and I was kind of getting, I wasn't really, I wasn't really interested in Magic the Gathering, right? But I had basic knowledge, and my cousin was really into it. So I was like, okay, well, let's talk about it because I haven't talked to you in 12 years or 15 years. When we talk about this, I get to talk the whole day about whatever the fuck I want. Let's talk about Magic. And we talked about Magic, and I wasn't really in the conversation, but because he was so into the conversation, I said I should learn a little bit. So right now I could do a video talking about Magic, right? And if I didn't talk to my cousin, I would make this video. I didn't have the thought of making this video. Now the beautiful thing is with creativity, the reality is, and this is a crazy reality, right? My apologies. I don't need to be infinitely creative. All I need is enough ID to carry me some time to make another ID. So, for example, I have a lot of ID during one day. It takes me 1 week. The whole week I have writer's block. I don't have any ID. I still have those IDs. After a week, if I still don't have IDs, what I'll do, I'll recap something. It's always a fear of lacking content because I don't see myself stopping this year. I don't see myself stopping in 2 years. I don't see myself stopping in 3 years, maybe in 10 years, right? My apologies. God damn. This is the, believe me not, this is the pepperoni. Pepperoni contains a lot of grease, and your body doesn't digest grease properly. So you'll have gas, and you'll have, number two, so with this creativity, all I need is to be carrying me to the next week, and there's always way. I was talking about 10 years from now. 10 years from now, I might be a fucking family channel. Who knows? The vendettas. Who knows? I don't fucking know, but I might be. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hmm? What if in 10 years this works and I make enough money? I make enough money to get my own place. 10 years, that's pretty reasonable, right? I don't have to buy the house. I have to have a mortgage down on the house, and I can still live in it. And I allow myself, because I'm the owner of the house, to have a dog. I can make a bunch of content with a dog. That's as simple as that, right? Now, am I using the dog for content? No, but if I can have, I'm a dog guy. I love puppies. If I can use something that I really want, which is owning a dog, and I can make content at the same time, fuck yeah, am I gonna do it, right? Fuck yeah, am I gonna do it? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not necessarily using the dog. See, a lot of people have this problem with family channel, right? And again, I think my perception changed because I'm a content creator. A lot of people have this problem with family channel. Tell me something. When you were a kid, right? Did your parent make you do the dishes? Did the parent make you clean the room, right? That was to teach you responsibilities, right? That was to teach you cleanliness, right? My apologies. My apologies. What if filming videos actually taught my kids to be more responsible, to be more aware of what they're saying, and to be more aware of how they present themselves? When I was a kid, I had this really big problem with talking, and I still have. I talk really fast, right? But then when people bugged me and said, hey, speak slower, I have a mode of defiance. I was like, nah, fuck you, I'm just not gonna talk. I'm gonna solve all the problem, right? I don't have to worry about talking too fast if I don't talk, right? With my kids, that could be something that teaches them and show them, hey, you're talking too fast, or you're not talking fast enough. Yes, not speaking fast enough is a thing. When people have a attention span of 3 to 30 seconds, not talking long enough might put you a sentence behind getting their attention. Once again, simple knowledge, simple creativity. Um, and I think that I've been watching a lot of content creator, and the the beautiful thing is this is gonna be such a crazy but simple context. And again, I'm gonna take a little break, get my computer, I can post video. I look around me, all I seem to see. This is nuts, right? It's people going nowhere, expecting sympathy. Life is what happened while I'm busy making your excuses. Another day, another casual day. I was talking about creativity, right? And I swear to God, this is not planned. This is not something that is. Well, technically speaking, is it planned? My brain planned it, and I just execute the plans, right? Um, I was the last time I watched this much content. So last year we lose our job. We go to make content. So right away, what I'm doing is I'm making content so much that I don't see or don't pay attention to new content being made, right? That's X. Last time we were able to watch this much of content was during the pandemic. During the pandemic, I was a new content creator, right? And the problem with the pandemic is I had so many, like I had so many people to watch. During the pandemic, I watched the whole McJugger Nuggets, Psycho Siri, and My Virtual Escape, which is about, I want to say, maybe 800 hours of content. So yes, so um, you do Psycho Siri, which is I think 600 videos, of about 10 minutes each. They're not 10 minutes each, but some of them are 40 minutes. So what you do is you divide it by, you do like a they last normally last between X and X because you take the middle. So if they last in between 4 minutes to 40 minutes, that's 26 minutes. You'll do 18. You'll do from 22. They usually last 22 minutes. As simple as that. They usually last 10 minutes, right? So 638 times 10 is 6,380. Divided by 60 is still 1,000. It's still 100 hours plus. Then you see the devil inside, which is halfway there, 40. However, there's no videos of 4 minutes, so they're all 20 minutes and 40 minutes, so 35 minutes. You take 400, that's 200 hours. And you do My Virtual Escape, which is about 15 hours. You got 315 hours. Now, if you're like me and you like to watch things at 2 times the speed, you're still getting 160 hours, right? 160 hours, I don't know if you notice, but even if you stay awake, even if you work and you watch it for 10 hours, that's still 16 days. It's a shit ton of time. For some reason, the computer doesn't light up. Why aren't you lighting up, dude? What have I done? Let's clean the lens. Okay, so you're not lighting up. That's cool. That is completely cool. Ooh. I had Kid Boga. I was making content for 8 years. The whole channel. I had Casey Neistat. Making content for 15 years. I watched it. I watched a fucking GMM. Musical Morning, right? That was another 20. There's 26 seasons, right? That's a lot of them. And with those content creator, I had a lot. Now with this one, with this year, I'm like, okay, well, let's get out of the way. For example, I watched this whole series of 3 hours. Well, technically speaking, we started watching Outdoors Boys, right? And Outdoors Boy was about life and a kind of a quiet guy, but making long ass video, right? And that was amazing. But it's not content I would have watched, because we had a much wider array of videos to watch. I was able to be interested in a wider array of things, but they had nothing in common, and they were all able to coexist. I don't think people would think that the outdoor survival channel would be as successful as the Outdoors Boys, but when you make a video and it gets about 1 million views every single videos, I got a crazy internet. And that's not even the most popular video. That's not even the most popular channel. So you realize that your creativity, and at the same time, there's this content, and we're gonna talk money. We're gonna talk the big fucking greasy money for a couple of seconds. I wanted to grow the channel, and I wanted to take something that people would understand, or like, I'm not even making money, right? This is a time to experience. This is a time to. Oh my God, this is so complex. This is such a shitty perspective, but this is the truth though. You're not even at the stage to making money yet, so you're branding you're building your brand. First of all, you're building your identity on social media. Second of all, third of all, you're out there doing content that you should be liking to do, right? Not content that is gonna make you famous, because technically speaking, right now I'm not making money. Let's say in a year I'm making money, right? But in a year I still have a job, so this is not my main source of income. I get to take risk. Now, if this is my main source of income and I lose the income, this is directly affecting how much I can eat. And if this is directly affecting how much I can eat, then we have a problem, because this is kind of a survival, right? But right now, this is not survival, so why didn't I not do anything that I want? I was afraid that if I didn't go out of my comfort zone, this is actually beautiful. This is such a wonderful thing. This is such a wonderful thing, because I realized that if I wasn't, I was afraid. Was afraid that if I didn't get out of my comfort zone, I wouldn't be able to make enough content. But now I'm realizing that all I had to do was to widen my comfort zone, and because my comfort zone is widened, then I can do a lot more than I originally could. And because I can do a lot more than I originally could, then whatever happens. If I want to make a video about something, I can tell you guys tomorrow, right? I can tell you guys tomorrow, hey, I met a girl, and she's really into spirituality, she's really into tarot reading. Like, oh, congratulations. And for some reason, I get really influenced, and I'm really in love, and I start talking about tarot, right? I get started talking about tarot, and we're in a position where I'm talking about tarot on a daily basis, and I'm talking about tarot, and I'm talking about tarot, right? And then we break up, and I was like, well, you know what? My apologies. I didn't like tarot to begin with. I liked her, but did I like tarot to begin with? No. Right? So even though we just spent a month talking about something we'll never talk about, it's not a waste of time, right? It's just I had a different interest. I think that's beautiful. You see, when I created a channel, and again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm not trying to be demeaning to myself. But when I created the channel, I was a very, I'm still a very boring guy, to be honest. But I had three main interests in life: food, video games, and mangas. Nature wasn't a thing. I didn't give a fuck about nature. I started giving a fuck about nature when I thought I could make content with it. Right? And because I knew I could make content out of it, I'm like, okay, well, guess what? Let's give a fuck about something we never gave a fuck about. Let's do something different in our lifetime, you know? And it was still like a scary concept of, is that, can you make something interesting? It's not. And that's the thing with creativity. Creativity, it's such this is the death of creativity. This is the death of creativity, but the birth of capitalism in some ways. I have this interest, and I have to make it interesting so people are interested in seeing it. I get some views, I get some follows, I get some views, I get some comments, I get some cash for the ads, right? If I like something but I don't make it interesting, right? If I don't make it interesting, then what am I supposed to do? Right? I was talking about the Berserk 1997, and the truth is there's a lot of people that still like Berserk, right? But no, let's take something else. I have about 400 games. This is not talking about emulators. I have about 400 games on the Switch. I have on the Switch, on the apps on the Switch and on the PS4. I have about 400 games. Out of those 400, what if 100 of them I couldn't make interesting? Nobody would give a shit. Nobody would give a shit. How can I make something interesting, right? Because you don't make something interesting, you don't get the views. Because you don't get the views, nobody gives a shit. And you lose distraction, right? You lose the attention of people. Like, well, he did some playthrough. Okay, I was watching this guy. He was making a playthrough of a game that I like. He finished a game. He did a playthrough of another game that I didn't like. I haven't watched him in 3 weeks. I don't really know what he's up to. But I really give a fuck. It happens. Right now we're fucking reviewing Trailer Park Boys. We're reviewing a series that is 25 years old. And yes, I have an excuse. I'm Canadian. This is something that I love. It's something that I know a lot about, so I can give you like an insider review, even though I wasn't on the inside. But still, yeah. Just, I'm lucky because people fuck with Trailer Park Boys. I'm lucky because I'm lucky because I get so little views that no matter how small the fan base that actually watches YouTube videos on Trailer Park Boys, it doesn't matter how small it is, it's still more than what I'm getting. And because it's still more than I'm getting, it's an improvement. Right? But even then with Trailer Park Boys, and this is the craziest thing with creativity. So Trailer Park Boys is this very specific case where I do like the content, I do like the boys, I do like everything about Trailer Park Boys, right? I do like everything about it. I just want to show you something. Nature Corner would be the same every single day. Look at this. That's new. Isn't it cool? And technically speaking, Trailer Park Boys is what? Let's say 4 or 5 Netflix special. Let's say 3 movie. Let's say 2 special, right? Let's say Trailer Park Boys in itself is about 60 hours, right? When I have the if I do the podcast is 520 episode, and it's about 260 hours. To that high recap, right? So this is limited content. I would have, even if I review 1 episode a day, I would have 260 days. I don't know if you're good in math. Thankfully I am. That's about 7 months, right? 7 months of content. That's a content that I can just enjoy myself. Right? You know the craziest thing? I'll tell you the craziest thing. 7 months, right? Times 4. That is 28 new episodes, right? I'm at 7 months, and even if I review 1 episode a day, I still got what months more, right? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Just to think about thinking about the fact that we have so much content, right? And even though creativity is important and making your original content is important, sometimes you just gotta let go and enjoy yourself. I'm gonna get. I hope I'm not offending anybody with this. I was watching Bretman Rock, right? Bretman Rock, who is a beauty guru, right? He does beauty content. I don't give a fuck about beauty content. However, I was dating this chick who told me to watch him, and I watched him, and he was entertaining. And even though I didn't give a fuck about him being homosexual, even if I didn't give a fuck about him making beauty content, the guy was entertaining. The guy was fucking entertaining. Like, okay, Bretman Rock, I see you. And I ended up watching him for like 2 weeks, right? It was super entertaining. And yeah, you should be checking up on Bretman Rock. At the same time, you see, this is something you enjoy. This is something that you never thought you'd be interested in. But if you ask me to react to a Bretman Rock videos, I'm gonna say, okay, sure. Right? And I think this is crazy. And even then, with content, the specific thing is, and again, I'm not sucking my own dick, right? But when I deserve credit, I'm gonna give myself credit. You don't mind? You don't mind, I hope. Thank you. Even and only even. I was focusing on the main channel. Well, technically speaking, the main channel is called Ing Vendetta. The gaming channel is Ing Vendetta Gaming, right? And I would promote the gaming channel with the main channel. But what if, and only what if, right? I didn't have anything to talk about the main channel. and I would go to gaming. Remember the 400 hours? Yeah, I remember too. Um, the clips, the storyline, the characters, right? There's so much to talk about here. There's so much to talk about. So all I would have to do is focus on the gaming channel, right? Now, oh man, we've been watching Bar Rescue a lot lately. And I think John Taffer is fucking phenomenal, and Parky watches it a lot. So because Parky watches it a lot, we're watching it a lot. Parky and my freaking I don't know if it's in English, but we're seeing each other, so that's kind of cool. And we're watching Bar Rescue. Talk about cross contamination and cross contamination and cross contamination and at the very least, cross contamination, right? And the craziest thing with cross contamination is this is it. I touch with gaming content with my hand, but I also touch with normal content. And because I did the two of them, then I am able to have a fucking good time. And both channel improve each other, right? And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. So people, you see, take a person like Nikki 30. Oh no. Take a person like Clicks. See, this computer's not. Oh, because there's no internet. Okay, I understand. Yo entiendo qué pasa. I understood what's up. Take a person like Clicks. Clicks, who is a Fortnite streamer, right? And then Clicks actually got a lot of fame, and then Clicks can release video about himself, and people would love that, right? And I don't think we're seeing that a lot. Or take a channel like GMM. GMM had the GMM is actually a perfect example. GMM was so successful that they released a production company called Smash Production. Now they have a podcast called Ear Biscuit. They have this Good Mythical Kitchen. They have Good Mythical More, right? And I love those shows. But most people like, okay, well, I just want to see the Good Mythical morning content, right? However, everybody would watch these other things. Nobody would watch Ear Biscuits because it's only a podcast. There's so many podcasts out there. But because you like GMM, you're like, okay, well, I like the guys and I know who they are. So let's watch Ear Biscuits, right? And that's pretty much it. So you branch out. And this is creativity. I was doing this, and then I'm doing that. My apologies. My apologies. And you see that a lot. You see that with the Stranger Things cast. Stranger Things cast. Why am I talking about Stranger Things? Because again, this is creativity. So there's this character called Finn Wolfhard, which plays Mike and Stranger Things, which is kind of a main character. And now he's doing music. You have Steve, who now is making music. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, isn't it? Or you take people that were on shows, for example, Ariana Grande. It wasn't a kid's show, and she made a whole career out of it. And this is insanity. This is insanity. I watched. The funniest thing is, this is kind of embarrassing. About 4 months ago, I watched a movie called The Substance. And it was really, really good. And I made a fucking mistake. And it's a huge mistake. I called the character, I thought it was Courtney Cox. But it's Demi Moore. They both have dark hair, both have a rocking body, gilf body, and both have blue eyes. They kind of look alike. The craziest thing, we were watching V for Vendetta, right? I found out about Natalie Portman, and it wasn't her. It was something that looks like her, but it wasn't her. And people corrected me, and I'm like, bruh, what a fucking douche. How did I not notice, right? The people understood where I was coming from. And it didn't really matter because they understood where I was coming from, so the rest of yeah. People knew where I was coming from. They knew they was similar, so the rest of they didn't care. But for example, right, if this is crazy though. And I thought about it that way. This is actually kind of unrealistically cool. So people thought I made a mistake, and they wouldn't care, right? If the review was good, they wouldn't care, right? Because the review was good, they didn't care. Okay, so I'm telling you, this bird is so close. You saw it. It's going on our balcony. That's why it's so loud. Um, you see, you're currently offline. Yeah, you're not. My computer's not doing well. We uploaded a bunch of program lately for the multi streaming. Fuck. Okay, Hank, relax. Okay, this is gonna be okay. So with this, it's kind of cool because the because and this is not planned, right? Because people understood where I was coming from. As long as the rest of the review was okay, they didn't care, right? But then, in a fucked up sense of the way, because I made a mistake, they got interested in the rest of the review. If I didn't make a mistake, would they watch the review? I don't know. Isn't that fucking crazy? That is insanity. That is insanity. But again, it's all a question of perception. A question of creativity. You're seeing a tree. I see. You're seeing a tree. I'm seeing an apple tree. You're seeing a rose. I know the exact name of the rose. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Bye. Dumb Lancashire link. Welcome to our shop. Guys are doing well, kids are having a wonderful day. Always try to be as obnoxious as possible, right? If I wasn't being so obnoxious, you wouldn't call me Ink, would you? Now, today we're tasting something that is obnoxious on its own. It is Schneider. Look at this little bird, so freaking close. Because my neighbor feed it, and every single morning it's coming, and it's making a chirping. There you go. I'm gonna fucking get it. And it's a bird. It's supposed to chirp. It's just annoying. So talking about something obnoxious, we're talking about Schneider, which is a company that specifies themselves in pretzel bakery. And the craziest thing is, they've been in America pretzel bakery since 1909. So they're selling this product. Not a lot of people like. Not a lot. I don't know a lot of. Computers fucked up. I don't know a lot of people out there who are pretzel fanatic. See, dude, it is just so loud. I don't want to scare. See, it left. Okay, cool. It left. It's just because my neighbor feed it and it's waking me up every single morning, right? And again, I'm possibly waking them up with my loud ass voice. Well, I don't see a lot of pretzel fanatic, right? It's like a fetish. Like, can I talk about it with you? The Schneider of Hanover, American Pretzel Company since 1909, which is more than 100 years. It would be 116 years. My apologies. We're tasting butter and garlic seasoned twisted. It is new, so we're always looking for the new products. It is a pretzel, and this is the coolest thing. See, I'm always willing to try something new. Am I a fan of pretzel? I think I'm pretty indifferent to pretzel. To me, pretzel are yay or nay. Most of the time they're a nay, but sometimes they're a yay, right? It's all about the way you present it. I have, although I'm not the biggest fan of pretzel computer. I'm trying to fix it because there's something wrong with the computer. Although I'm not the biggest fan of pretzel, to me it is kind of pleasant knowing that there is a company that's been making pretzel and only pretzel for 116 years. To me it's kind of pleasant that there's enough of a market of pretzel fan to be having this whole past empire. And if I'm being completely honest, there's a couple more things. It's new. I love new things. It's garlic and butter. I love garlic and butter. And something I never tasted before, so this is an excuse to be making some content. Without further ado, let's get in. The smells really nice. Wow, the smell is really, really nice. It is amazing. Pretzel has this really nice and I do mean really nice smell. To me, it's insane because you see, to me this is insane because there you go. I'm connected. It's working. It's just very slow. Okay, cool, 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 cool. The pretzel has this. See, pretzel. I'm not gonna like a pretzel, but I'll love a pretzel bagel. I'm not gonna like pretzel, but I like a pretzel pizza. It has a very peculiar taste. It smells like butter, which butter in itself, it smells a lot. If you look at popcorn, you smell popcorn, you smell popcorn. And the garlic is really freaking nice. Without further ado, let's do it. Let's get it. My favorite thing with garlic and butter is possibly lobster or crab if I'm a fancy bitch. Wow. Wow. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Wow. There's a couple of things going. What I'm sort of happy about. And the first thing that's going is wonderful taste of garlic. Garlic is very powerful here. The pretzel feels empty. I feel bland. Not a lot going on. However, you're still tasting the pretzel, there's still a nice texture. So you're kind of down with the whole thing. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. Next on the list. The butter. The butter doesn't taste like much. But it's such a nice addition because it makes the whole thing buttery. So the three of them work well together. Now, technically speaking, and I don't want to be a dick, they didn't reinvent the wheel. It's not rocket science. It's supposed to be good. It's just the whole what they did. The garlic is so strong. So strong. And then, no one like garlic, why did you buy it? Right? Butter is a texture thing. The pretzel is a texture thing. So it's pretty interesting, but I'm not surprised. That's beautiful. I came in the taste test, not expecting anything, right? And then at the taste test, not expecting anything but having a pleasant experience. So are they the best thing I've ever put in my mouth? No. Are they close to the best thing I've ever put in my mouth? No. Are they pretty good? Yes. Is I recommend it? Yes. Weirdly speaking, I see this as a party food. And you put it in party food and kind of lie to your guests and say, hey, there's a pretzel stick that I put in garlic and butter, and people would buy it. It's a good product. It is a good product. Once again, nothing special, nothing out of the extraordinary. It's very good. And we love guys to easy. Choo 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 choo. Da 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 da. Okay, let's go. Okay. My apologies. My apologies. là. Salut, c'est Fanchamic. Je pense que je passe une belle journée en ce 25 mai 2025. C'est pluvieux, c'est sombre dehors. Demain, je faisais super beau. On s'est même acheté une petite crème glacée. En passant, oui, une vidéo en français. Fait que c'est déjà on est fiers représentants du Québec. On est fiers représentants du Québec. On mange des produits québécois. Quand on parle en français, c'est souvent l'occasion. Aujourd'hui, on se fait une petite gâterie, on se fait un petit chagnon. Laiterie Chagnon, famille Kaiser. Un beau produit de Waterloo, Québec. On a caramel au beurre. Ça a l'air succulent. Ça a l'air fucking bon. J'ai jamais mangé la laiterie Chagnon. Mais jamais, jamais. Qu'est-ce que moi je pense que c'est? Puis si c'est le cas, je suis tellement content. Mais tellement, tellement content. Parce que c'est une laiterie. C'est une laiterie de Waterloo, si tu veux, de Québec. Qui a été assez populaire pour sortir des crèmes glacées au niveau commercial. Fait que ça, on applaudit ça. On applaudit le succès au Québec. On est une gang de gens jaloux. On veut pas voir les gens avoir du succès. Fuck you, on veut que les gens aient du succès. Parce qu'on a une petite histoire. La run de lait, qui est extrêmement québécois, qui est le mieux placé qu'un producteur de lait pour reconnaître toutes les qualités d'un produit laitier? C'est la question que s'est posée la famille Kaiser avant d'oser. Je sais pas. Attends, moi je sais pas, the fuck. J'ai pété sur quelque chose? Non. Mais pourquoi ça marche pas? Je sais pas. C'est encore fucking TikTok, je te le jure, c'est encore fucking TikTok. TikTok, c'est tellement stupide, TikTok va être sûr que t'as quelque chose. Quand t'as quelque chose sur pause, ils vont juste le mettre. Puis là, le retard, j'ai beaucoup de problèmes parce qu'il y a beaucoup de. Je sais pas, il y a beaucoup de problèmes, il est très lent. Fait que le fait que t'as ça, ça va juste être fatigant parce que ça fait ça fait le téléphone, le téléphone, ça fait encore plus lent. C'est fucking fatigant. Ça arrive tout le temps plus. Bon, ok. Tu vois? Oh, surprise! J'ai des besoins parce que après ça, je fais une revue de l'émission après. Bon, ok. Comment il est lent, l'ordinateur il est lent, même. Mais vraiment lent. Ok, je suis allé. Je suis tanné. On ferme l'ordi. Mange la cinéma. Ça me gosse parce que il y a vraiment de la pollution auditive. Mes voisins ils nourrissent un oiseau. L'oiseau il est fort. L'ordinateur il part à toutes les heures de la soirée parce que je download puis que j'upload pour YouTube. C'est romantique. Anyway, je m'excuse. La question que s'est posée la famille Kaiser avant d'oser l'aventure de la laiterie Chagnon en 2017. Productrice de lait depuis plus de 40 ans au Québec, la famille Kaiser est fière aujourd'hui de garantir la qualité et la distinction d'un lait vraiment l'une des seules laiteries encore indépendantes au Québec. Encore plus content de l'avoir supporté. La run de lait de la famille Kaiser, c'est un lait produit transformé par des producteurs de lait. Gros fan. Aliments du Québec, on a ça, qui est super cool. Sincèrement, c'est un produit que j'ai acheté au Maxi. Maintenant, il faut que je fasse une. Il faut que je t'avoue quelque chose. Une confession. Est-ce que je l'ai acheté en pensant, oh, c'est un produit québécois, oh, c'est un produit québécois? Non. Je l'ai vu, j'ai dit, c'est un produit que tu n'as pas goûté encore. C'est le fun que tu le goûtes. Fait que sans plus attendre, famille Chagnon, on va vous montrer ce qui est dedans. Techniquement parlant, j'adore ce que je vois présentement. Premièrement, le design est assez nice. La petite description, c'est assez nice. Mais là, est-ce qu'il y a différentes descriptions pour tous les produits? Non. Est-ce que c'est grave? Non. Regarde la crème glacée. On a tous les morceaux de caramel. Ça va être succulent. Qu'est-ce qu'on va essayer de faire? On va essayer de prendre un morceau de crème glacée pur et simple. Vanille, sans plus. Parce que c'est facile d'avoir. Regarde, l'oiseau est encore là. C'est l'oiseau qui nourrit. Il est fatigant, mais ça n'a pas de sens. Je m'excuse, je veux pas être méchant, mais ça m'aurait dû caler ton réveil. C'est facile d'avoir des bons produits sur la surface, des bons produits que tu mets comme Ben Jerry. Ça quand il coûte la marde, ça vaut pas la peine. Ok. C'est pas la crème glacée la plus goûteuse. extrêmement basique, mais ça que j'aime beaucoup. Ça coûte 1 million. Une première fois que je mangeais avant. 1 million. Sauf que ici, qu'est-ce qui est vraiment le fun? C'est que c'est vraiment. La crème glacée, c'est quoi? C'est de la crème avec ça que tu fais glacer. Hum. Je goûte la crème. Je goûte le sucre. Maintenant, pour qu'est-ce qui est des caramels? Caramel ici, c'est quand même bon. C'est moins goûteux que ce que j'aurais pensé. Moins incroyable que ce que j'aurais pensé. Mais on a vraiment des petits morceaux de caramel. Mais c'est bon. Ça le fait bien pour vrai. En fait, là, c'est ça, ça fait la job. Je goûte la crème glacée, mais aussi je goûte. Et c'est vraiment cool ici. Je goûte le caramel beaucoup. Qui est le fun. Le caramel est très savoureux. Oh man, c'est bon. Qu'est-ce que j'aime beaucoup ici? De la façon la plus simple, la plus directe. C'est que. Là, moi, j'ai fait de l'erreur. Là, moi, j'ai fait de l'erreur de dire, ça, c'est la vanille. Vous connaissez normal, c'est la vanille. C'est la crème et le sucre. Fait que oui, le produit en tant que tel. Écoute, je suis content. J'ai un nouveau produit. On va faire goûter. Il y avait plusieurs saveurs. Qu'est-ce qui m'a approché, c'est le design. Qu'est-ce qui m'a vraiment intéressé, c'est le design. C'est la saveur aussi. Je suis un grand fan de caramel. Fait que peut-être pas la meilleure recette, j'imagine, de ma vie. Sauf que je suis prêt à faire un petit peu de la saveur pour justement avoir un produit québécois. Fait que je suis content d'avoir essayé. Puis, ouais, c'est délicieux. Je suis très content d'avoir essayé. Beau petit produit de Québec. On encourage les compagnies québécoises, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Photographie. Tu viens chez moi pour voir beaucoup de jambon. C'est long, c'est long, c'est long. C'est long, c'est long, c'est long. C'est long. Photographie. My apologies.